She drove to Long Island for a job. She never came home, and for over a decade, nobody knew why. The answer was hiding in plain sight, in a quiet suburb, inside a normal-looking house, behind the face of a man who designed buildings for a living. This is the story of Rex Heuermann, a Manhattan architect. A father, a husband, and a serial killer who murdered 8 women and almost got away with it. In December 2010, police were searching for a missing woman named Shannon Gilbert, an escort who had vanished after leaving a client's home in Oak Beach, New York. But what they found instead stopped them cold. Within days, investigators discovered the remains of 4 women near Ocean Parkway, a remote stretch of road alongside Gilgo Beach. 4 victims found within a quarter mile of each other, each one wrapped in burlap. They became known as the Gilgo 4, and as investigators kept looking, they kept finding more. Eventually, 10 victims total, all women, all in their early 20s, all working as escorts. A serial killer was operating on Long Island, and nobody knew who he was. For over 10 years, nothing. No arrest, no suspect, no answers. The case went cold. The killer walked free. Investigators had DNA evidence, but couldn't match it to anyone. Hair samples from multiple victims, but the technology to analyze them didn't exist yet. Families waited, victims were slowly identified, but the killer stayed hidden. Then, in 2022, everything changed. A new task force was formed, new forensic tools, new DNA technology. And within months, they had a name, Rex Heuermann. By day, he was a conventional suburban professional, architect, husband, father, homeowner in Massapequa Park. He ran his own firm in Midtown Manhattan, 2 kids, normal life. Nobody suspected a thing, but investigators were watching him closely. They tracked his cell phone data. It matched the locations of multiple victims at the times they disappeared. DNA on the remains pointed to someone in Heuermann's family. And then came the move that broke everything open. A surveillance team grabbed a pizza crust Heuermann had thrown in a Manhattan trash can and matched its DNA to a victim. It was a match. The man who spent 17 years hiding in plain sight, caught by a piece of pizza. In July 2023, Rex Heuermann was arrested outside his Manhattan office. Police searched his home for nearly a week. They found guns, electronic devices, and something that shocked even experienced investigators. A planning document, a written strategy for future killings, how to dispose of bodies, how to avoid capture, how to not leave DNA. He wasn't done. He was planning to keep going. Phone records showed he used burner phones to contact victims more than 500 times in the 2 years before his arrest. Meticulous, organized, nearly 2 decades of murder. For almost 3 years, he maintained his innocence. Then, in April 2026, he confessed. Standing in court, hands shackled, he admitted to murdering 8 women over 17 years. The DA said he walked among us, play acting as a normal suburban dad, when in reality, he was obsessively targeting innocent women for death. 3 life sentences, no parole. Rex Heuermann will die in prison. 8 women, 17 years, 1 man living a double life. And it all came apart because of a discarded pizza crust. The families waited over a decade for answers. These women were daughters, sisters, mothers, killed by a man who thought he'd never be caught. He was wrong. Subscribe for more real American crime cases every week.